This video is gonna be a little salty. Saltier than normal.
We interrupt this video to bring you a special message from iFixit. No, we interrupt this interruption with this interruption about new stuff from iFixit. Wish you had a new graphics card, but inventory sucks? Fix the inventory problems with iFixit. Whoa, don't drop it. Can't fix that with iFixit. Just kidding, yes you can. Wish you could take iFixit with you anywhere, but your pockets aren't big enough? Introducing the new More
And the new Minnow.
Take them with you anywhere. So get iFixit for your loved ones, or just get them for yourself.
NVIDIA can't possibly be this tone deaf. Yeah, I guess anything's possible these days. So here's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the RTX 3080 Ti leaks. Leaks that have been leaking since last year. You know how this industry works. Every time someone shows something new, people are already on to the next rumor, right? Doesn't matter whether it's graphics cards or Macs or cars, it doesn't matter. As soon as you see the latest thing they unveil, you know they're working on the next thing already. And one of the things that has been in the rumor mill or the pipeline for the last 6 months has been the quote unquote RTX 3080 Ti. This is a 3080, obviously, and then they came out with a 3090, which sort of took the place of what the Titan card would have been. But even though it had more shaved compute performance versus like the RTX Titan, it had still 24 gigabytes of VRAM and was an absolute monster when it comes to gaming and applications that could actually utilize 24 gigabytes of G6 memory or G6X memory. When it comes to these rumors, I tend to just sort of ignore them until we have some sort of concrete evidence that shows that they're actually coming. Well, this week, a leaked image, apparently out of China, from boxes that are loaded onto a container, currently making their way to US, show labels of an MSI RTX 3080 Ti 12G Ventus. Now, here's what's interesting about that. It doesn't look like it would be a misprint. Because here's the thing, we saw misprints in terms of people putting websites live with AI, or not AIOs, but pre-built systems that were showing 3080 Ti. And then they were changed later to like 3080s and such. And what seemed to be typos. Now, when we talk to some of these brands and stuff, as launches are coming, a lot of the times they operate off of internal code names or product numbers, and people try and decipher those numbers for what they could potentially mean. And that's where a lot of the 3080 Ti rumors came from. Now we know for a fact that like the 3060 Ti and the 3060 were pushed out from their original dates, which were supposed to be in October, to like November and I believe the beginning of December, because of I think actually after December was January when we saw the 3060 Ti, because of availability and shortages that were happening from the increased popularity of 30 series graphics cards because of their price to performance increase. Or I guess price increase and performance, no, other way around. Price decrease to performance increase, there we go. Made them extremely attractive options for people finally upgrading and or buying and building their new systems. But the worldwide shortage of chips has made it very difficult to get those products into the hands of actual consumers and out of the hands of cryptocurrency miners and or scalpers. Here's the thing about this Ventus label. 12G or 12 gigabytes is not what's on the 3080. The 3080 has 10 gigabytes and the 3090 has 24. So having some sort of a weird typo and adding TI and then the wrong RAM amount already makes this leak seem a little bit more concrete. Now, I don't know how they've deduced, how they figured out this information that apparently it's got 10,240 CUDA cores running on a GA102 core, basically makes it the same core as a 3090, with only 256 less CUDA cores in a 3090. Now let's talk about CUDA core count. That makes it just shy of a 3090 and quite a bit ahead of a vanilla 3080 because the vanilla 3080 has 8,704 CUDA cores. So it's only 256 cores less than a 3090. Again, leaked information, take it with a grain of salt, but somehow this is the information people have figured out. Now there's technically two GA102 cores to talk about here. That's GA102-202 and GA102-302. You could see 256 CUDA cores in terms of gaming performance will probably be very, very minimal in terms of percentage difference. If you remember, there wasn't a massive increase between the 8704 CUDA cores found in the 3080 vanilla, we're calling it vanilla now because it's non-TI, and the 3090. So we don't know how many tensor cores it has yet. We know how many RT cores it has, but we can also say it has 12 gigabytes of VRAM, being half what's in the RTX 3090. So that would position this card to be at people that are obviously wanting to do gaming performance near what an RTX 3090 is, but not needing the VRAM, which would go to waste in gaming situations, that if you're not using any of these desktop software, these workstations type workflows that need 24 gigabytes of VRAM. Just to put it in perspective, the RTX 3080 has 10 gigabytes, and I already said the RTX 3090 has 24. Now here's the thing. If you can't put your product that you currently have on the market in the hands of your consumers as fast as people are wanting it, how the flying frick are you gonna add another product SKU that clearly is gonna be based off of a product that you already cannot make to keep them at 3090s? Right? They're harder to get than the 3080. They always had lesser yields because of the size of the die, the amount of the Cuda cores, and the chances of the silicon quality not meeting that particular spec already makes it a very hard item to produce. You can't possibly have yields sitting around that didn't quite make the 3090s cut, but can make a shaved down 3090 into a 3080 Ti suddenly be available. This to me shows how tone deaf NVIDIA really is. And I really don't give a shit whether or not they decide they want to blacklist me or not send me product, because guess what? You can't get it, so who the hell cares if we get it and suddenly you're talking about it? I know you guys are fatigued on seeing these videos about graphics cards. I know you guys don't care because you're not watching. You guys can't buy this stuff. You don't want to be constantly reminded about what it is you can't get. So why are you gonna watch channels that are talking about graphics cards and all that stuff all the time? It's beating a dead horse that's already decayed at this point, and you guys just don't give a shit. So I have to wonder, what the hell is going through NVIDIA's mind right now to go, you know what would be a really good idea? You know what would really make people happy in 2021? To make another product that you can't get, that's only gonna get scalped and cost a bajillion dollars more than the $1,099 that apparently is the leaked price for that. Do you honestly think it's gonna cost $1,099? I mean, if the 3080 is going for over $2,000, and I'm seeing the 3090 listed at $3,000, do you really think you're gonna get anywhere near that price? MSRP is a joke at this point. MSRP is just someone's blazing 420 idea of what it might actually cost, okay? So I can't possibly see NVIDIA being any more tone deaf than what they're already showing if any of these leaks turn out to be true. Now, on top of all of that, we got cryptocurrency mining, which I've talked about. And apparently, there's this leak as well that's saying, well, the device IDs and the firmwares are going to identify them as such, and the new drivers that are gonna be required for these cards to operate on will just gimp the cryptocurrency mining hash rate, which is gonna make them it's gonna make them non-attractive to miners. Haven't you already tried that? And didn't you frick it up yourself by actually accidentally sending out the drivers that unlock them, which then immediately get circulated, and now all those cards that were supposed to be non-attractive to miners are now suddenly in the hands of miners because they've got amazing hash rates? And do you actually believe that your driver and your firmware is not gonna be cracked by these industries anyway? Look, these are money-making tools. These are hammers, these are nails, these are jackhammers, these are axes, whatever tool you wanna use as a euphemism for how to make money. The amount of money that graphics cards can make with cryptocurrency miners right now, NVIDIA, the industry is smarter than you. The crack addicts, literally, the cryptocurrency miners that are looking at these tools as ways to make hundreds of thousands and or millions of dollars, that wheel is much bigger than your team that you think you have to lock it down is. Everything that has been deemed uncrackable in the history of electronics has been cracked and will be cracked. So stop smoking the crack, thinking that you can keep it out of the hands of those people in that industry, because guess what? They're smarter than you, because they are a much bigger biomass in terms of people out there cracking these things than your team is locking it down. I would love for NVIDIA to put a bounty saying, crack it, we dare you, because you know exactly what's gonna happen. And if I sound angry about this, it's because I actually kind of am. Our entire industry, whether it be computers, YouTubers, gamers, we all right now don't exactly know what the future is gonna be. We got a video coming out where we're talking about some of the predictions on TSMC and Intel's manufacturing in the future is going to not look so good here in the near future. So how in the hell is NVIDIA gonna get an RTX 3080 Ti to actually exist and not just be another freaking paper launch? So I just had to put out this video because I saw these articles being linked to me and people going, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do I think? I think NVIDIA right now is just completely out of its mind if this card truly exists. And if MSI has already got a 12G Ventus, then you know that all the other brands are currently working on it. And I feel bad for the AIBs, right? The AIBs are stuck too. Their entire business model is based upon what NVIDIA is doing and the availability of the cores they need to make their products. So everyone's hurting right now. And I think the worst thing you could have possibly done, instead of taking those yields that apparently are great enough to make another model, should have just somehow gone to maybe models that are currently out of stock and somehow get those models back in the hands of manufacturers or stores and whatnot. But it doesn't matter because those stores are looking at this as a profiteering opportunity. If you think you're gonna get an RTX 3080 Ti for $1,099, which might have seemed like a great price given the $1,500 MSRP of a 3090 if it's only a couple of percent shy of that based on what the specs look like. If we were talking about this 6 months ago and you could actually go to the store and buy it, we'd be praising it. Now we're just talking about how lost NVIDIA's mind currently is. So if you guys are like, why is Jay hating on NVIDIA? He's just an AMD fanboy. I'd be saying the exact same thing right now if AMD was like, we've got a 6950 XT coming out. How? That's my rant. I feel a little better for getting it off my chest, but I still feel like
Stuff.
because, you can't get it anyway. But you know what? At least 2 people are gonna get a new graphics card because we're giving away a couple of them. We'll tell you more about it right here. Before you close that video, guys, I am doing another graphics card giveaway. Because things suck in terms of trying to buy them, I want to be able to give someone out there an upgrade or a graphics card that's missing out of their system. So click the link in the description below that talks all about our giveaway and you can find out how you can win either our Gigabyte RTX 3080 or a second place winner will get an RTX 2080. So good luck, click down below to learn more.